how the time was ticking there. But things are set up and ready, and I will be continuing coloring this beautiful work of John Buscema. I'm going to bring up chat. So here we are, ladies and gents. We are a bit further back in this issue when it comes to coloring than when it comes to drawing comics. So we're at this page right here, where Conan is gathering information and getting things together to confront the cultist. He meets with a priest, who gives him some advice and gives him some idea of what is to be expected. And yeah, he's getting ready to set on his journey. If you guys want to find out what happens next, I'm sure you've already saw the panels, but if you want to get a more consistent look, check out the Drawing Comics streaming at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you guys will get a little peek of what's gonna happen next. I will continue working on this panel right here. There's still some work to be done. The results are pretty good, actually. I think because it dried out, it looks better than what it did while it was still wet. There's a lot of areas for blacks to be covered. But I don't think it's going to take much time, and I'll be moving on to this panel. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. It is hot in the apartment, so just give me 1 second. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to mix more colors together prior to starting. It's because it gave pretty good results. I was able to do more with each panel. I think that's the best route to go. Yellow seems to be another big color in the panel. So I did get distracted a little bit, and it was just this like political post that recently surfaced where AOC is being harassed by some douchebag that's on the Capitol steps in front of cops that are just standing there and are not saying anything. This like deranged Nazi wannabe standing there and trying to like call her a baby killer or whatever. Meanwhile, he's like catcalling her and saying these like really grotesque things. Once again, the contradiction between playing on morality while being totally immoral and not really caring about morality at all whatsoever. They're just crazy people. And that guy should not have been on the steps to begin with. Without being questioned, like, what is he doing there? After the whole, like, riot that happened and people breaking in and doing all sorts of crazy things, they're still just, like, not really putting much effort into, like, defending these people. And you could even see it in his face, like how deranged and demented he is, and he tries to like cover it up with smiles and, you know, that whole insane behavior. Gross people, man. I guess they have to do that sort of thing because that's the only way somebody's really gonna pay attention to them. It's pretty pathetic. And I think she's great. She's championing so much of the economy and the right values. Looking out for everybody. Trying to make the world a better place. I commend that. Especially with this like archaic, idiotic behavior with sexism and all that stuff. Racism, sexism, all that barbaric old stuff. And despite all that, she wakes up and takes on the challenge. So, keep it up. She's doing great. And that was accidental. Like, I opened up the app for this stream, and again, social media took over. And this is what I was talking about before, like just having to gain better control over social media, how much time spent on it, and just staying away from it. Not being on it as often. I think the way mine came out, it's a little bit darker. I'm gonna need to do a little mixing there with some white. Get better results. Still dark. Gonna see if I could get more of a light color going here. Maybe just adding yellow with white might bring it out. Because so far it's really getting dark. It's not really bringing up much thickness to it. I think because there's a little bit of opaqueness mixed in with the water, mixing the pigment with the water, it's still retaining the orange, but it's making it slightly brighter. It's still not as bright as I want it to be. It's kind of like on the dull side. Take some yellow. Whoa. Not that chunky stuff. Yeah, this palette needs some cleaning. This stuff is getting pretty messy. Trying to remember to also clean the brush so that way when I mix new paints, the previous color that was on it doesn't get mixed in with everything else. gonna see, since I'm getting a new sketchbook after this one, after I finish pretty much all the pages here, I'm gonna see if I can get like a crescent one where, you know, it promises that it doesn't bleed over to the other side. And that has more of like watercolor. It's like compatible for watercolor rather. Seems like it's a little more orange. It's interesting how this still works. You know, these are pretty solid colors. There really isn't that much. Oh, I noticed this little detail that's missing actually, and I'm gonna do it right now. I don't know how I missed that. Looks like I started doing it and then moved on to something else probably. I don't know, I'm still not satisfied with the helmet. I think it needs to be a little bit more darker here. Not necessarily brighter, just darker. Maybe that does it. Maybe that's gonna be better once it dries out. I was so eager to start this panel, I totally forgot that there's still work. That needs to be done on this one. But I'm pretty satisfied with this page, to be honest. I like these two panels, how they're coming out so far. The mountains turned out pretty good. And the ground turned out pretty good. Way better than I expected. And way better than it looks... than it looked when it was still kind of drying. I'm not going to jump the gun and say I'm getting a better hang of watercolors, but I'm definitely not getting worse. Let's just say that. And I think pre-mixing really helps. Just taking time to just see which colors are very common in a panel, and just working on having them mixed together. Oh no, some of it is kind of bleeding over, which means I gotta take it easy on certain places. Like this was pretty bad. There's like no color there, it's just straight water. Tiny smidge of color. Same thing here. That was a bad call. Too orange. Damn it. It's white, man. When you mix white with any color, it starts to cover up detail. Just gonna go around it. trying to lighten his face because it's kind of blending in with the helmet. This is more of an accurate color anyway. Muddy brushes are dangerous. They really damage the entire drawing if you don't watch out. Not bad, not bad. Good tones. Alright, I'm gonna leave that alone. And click on the background, guys. And then another challenging color is going to be getting that gray, and not gray, but green. Or it's like right in the middle between green and blue, I guess. Nah, it's green, but not the green that I'm looking for. It's a good middle ground. Until I finally find that color, which is like a green, light green and brown together. It's a challenging mix. No, see, it's just muddy. I'm gonna leave this panel alone because it looks like it's done for the most part. And areas that I need to revisit, I just want to let them dry because it seems like it's seeping over to the other side. And I want to stay away from that. For now, I'm gonna work on this gentleman's cloth, trench cloth. And on that thing about AOC, I think those cops should just get fired. If you're not there to protect the people that are working there, then what are you doing? You can't tell the guy to just back off and respect the boundaries and not harass that person, then and they're just abusing the whole idea of like free speech. And they got terrible politicians with awful policies that are just favoring the incredibly rich and corporations and all that other stuff. And then when those policies are challenged, they come back with spite. So when people are like protesting out there and talking about, you can't control our bodies or whatever, and tell us that we can't make decisions for ourselves. And then they're like, oh, if you're gonna protest our politicians, we're gonna come and protest yours. This guy was talking about baby killers. Meanwhile, policies to support wars, policies to support, or policies that don't support baby formula, as far as the masking up goes to save babies' lives, they don't care about that. So, once again, what moral principles are they talking about? They don't have any. They just operate from spite. They contradict every single thing that they're morally for, quote unquote. If they were pro-life, they would have masked up to save babies' lives. They would have voted yes for baby formula. They would provide good education systems. But they're not, just facade. And it's a facade to brainwash people to make them believe that they actually have some sort of morals, when the only thing they care about is money. Money and power. That's pretty much it. Just like the Square Stash. Just because somebody calls themselves chef doesn't make them. You got all these people who are claiming to be like religious or whatever else. Like, please, when you actually start following the things that you claim yourself to be religious about, then we'll talk. But they don't. They just taunt it and talk about it. And then when it's inconvenience, when it's an inconvenience for them to follow it, actually, they just move right along. They don't address it, move on to the next contradiction. It's all bullshit. I don't buy any of their ploys about morality and religion and all that other stuff. They don't follow any of it. And it's been proven like over and over and over again, and they just keep on pretending like they are actually religious because it gives them some sort of authority when it really doesn't. They're just proving themselves to be more and more crazy. And that is the difference between somebody who is sane and someone who's crazy, is their morality and how consistent they are with it, with themselves as well as others, and predominantly with themselves, because everybody could walk around talking about morality and meanwhile just completely ignore it when it comes to themselves. Oh no, it's a really sensitive area. Yeah, it's like seeping right through. Bummer. All right, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna say it's not too bad. I could see just going over this once more with like another layer. But after all of this dries, and I am, ladies and gents, going to cut the stream at this point. I'm going to say goodnight, farewell, until tomorrow, where you guys can join me again at 9 p.m. for Coloring Comics. But I also do stream during the day from 3 p.m. till 4 p.m. doing drawing basics, where I give some drawing tips to everybody, ways you can improve your anatomy, ways you can improve your drawing in general. You guys can tune in there, post your questions, post any comments you got. I also do Drawing Comics, which is what this is all about, where you see all these frames coming from, where I draw John Buscema's work, more of this. Plan is to go through the entire book, do all of it, inking, penciling, coloring, and have it finished from page to page. And then I also stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And these are all Eastern Standard Times, where I work on personal projects. This is the previous stream, and I'm just doing things that I enjoy, some references that I work from, some from imagination. And in the future, I'll be revealing other projects that I've done exclusively to those who are going to be part of this new announcement that I'm going to be making next week. And you guys will see some exclusive content there. So stick around, make sure you join the social media, and check out Twitter. I post text, updates, news, usually there for now. I will try to continue to do it throughout all the mediums, so the social medias. But eventually I will be transitioning just for one for text. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up there. And yeah, stick around. There'll be some more new exciting stuff in the future. I'll see you guys soon.